Hi, this is Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. It is Saturday, February 5, 2022, and this video is called Buying Microsoft 365 Family and Some Adapter Thingy. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about Song Trust and my Instagram page where you can see wonderful paintings like this. So my new computer for doing everything got almost all the software on there, and I decided to spring for my Microsoft 365 Family. It used to be called Office 365. And so when you buy these computers, they were all like, hey, it's already preloaded. Just activate it, get a month free or something like that. And so I do have a legit license on ISO on here, but it's old. It's old. It's like 10 years old or so. And so I just, how much are they charging these days for Microsoft 365? And it was like $99.95 for a year subscription. And that's for the family, for that's up to 6 licenses. So I was like, wow, okay, I can have one. My wife, my 2 daughters can have one. We're good. So I pulled the trigger and I did it. So I got, downloaded whatever, Excel, Word, all that sort of stuff. I use Excel all the time. So again, $100 for the family for a year. I'll do that. That's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I know everybody's complaining about money and subscriptions and the cloud and all that sort of stuff. And it's just like, you just, resistance is difficult. The other thing I learned when putting software on my computer here and trying to put as little as possible was I was kind of like, well, wait a second. I've got 2 displays here and they're extended and they both have HDMI, and this computer only has one HDMI port, so I'm going to need a splitter, right? And so there's a whole process on figuring that out. You just don't go out to Amazon and buy the $10 splitter because those do not extend the display. They just mirror. So you get one here and you get the same thing over here. So I needed something that would extend the display. And I thought, well, I could buy like a docking station or something like that. That seemed like overkill. That seemed like too much because I'm trying to be minimal. And then I found the thing that I really needed, and it was a USB-C, which this has. Get the USB-C right in there to dual HDMI, and it said in the ad it extends the display as long as you're PC. Mac, you might need some extra software on that. So got that ordered. That'll be here in a few days, and that's great. We'll see how that works. And pretty soon we'll be off Windows 7, and we're just going to make the great leap forward to Windows 11 here with the Rose laptop. I mean, did we get the catch the sun there? Yeah. Um, Song Trust. So I'd been complaining about Song Trust. I couldn't enter any of my recent releases in there to collect future mechanical and publishing royalties. And it was because at first I thought it was, they asked a question about public domain. I thought it was throwing an error on that. It turned out they changed the interface with regard to the songwriter. Like you have to put the songwriter in for every single song, which I get, but it was not intuitive and there was no indication that there was a change. And the error message did not mention anything about that. So eventually I kind of played around with it and I found my way through and I was able to get all my titles entered. So that's good. That's good. But they just, as somebody who has been testing internet software and computer and application software for the past 28 years, I'm just like, you guys, I'm going to open a defect on this. I'm going to make a video on it and narrate it. That's what I do. That's what I do in the day job. Something gets changed on the interface or it's acting wacky or whatever. I make a little video. I talk about it, talk about what it should do compared to the functional spec document, and provide examples. I hate to toot my own horn, but when we had a testing department, now the testers are all in individual product teams or whatever. But when we had a testing department, I was the first tester to do that sort of thing: image capture, do video capture of defects on products. And that was, I'm trying to think how long ago that was. It was I want to say it was like 2004 or something like that. And there was, back then, when you would find defects in software, maybe you could do a screenshot, but as far as like how it behaved when you went through the um, user interface, it was very difficult to capture. And of course, just huge files, and you couldn't have an attachment in the system that large. And I found something that worked, right? And the developers were just like, "Oh my god, this is great!" Right? The ones that appreciated it. And then, of course, nowadays it's ubiquitous. Things like Screencastify and all the other services out there, all the little browser plugins. So yeah, I kind of wish I could do that little side consulting gig with the Song Trust. Hey, let's talk fees, right? I'll make your software great. Speaking of great things, here's a wonderful painting you've been looking at the entire time. This is on my Instagram page. My Instagram page is now devoted, well, for now anyway, to my paintings, displaying the paintings that I have. Because I rounded most of them up, and I can do at least one a day for a year, probably longer than that. And my Instagram page is instagram.com/Mark Rushton. Very simple. Or just search for Mark Rushton, MarkRushton on Instagram, and you'll find me. And I've got a few followers. I don't buy my followers like some. I don't care, right? But what I do care about is presenting the catalog. I finally figured it out, right? Like if I've got these paintings out here, they need to be seen. Like they don't do anything sitting on a shelf. They don't do anything sitting on a hard drive. Nothing's going to happen to them if they're just hidden away, right? Whether they are physical objects or whether they are a digital like this. Now, this particular painting, I don't remember the title off the hand, but it was 6 inches by 12 inches, acrylic ink on Tyvek synthetic paper. I believe it was adhered to a wood panel. It might have been framed, and it was definitely damaged. It was damaged, and but luckily, I scanned this image. I think this is a scan prior to all of that happening. And so it doesn't matter that the physical object is damaged or gone in any way, or even sold in most cases with regard to art sales. The artist still can retain copyright over reproductions of that image if you want to configure it that way. And that's how I would always configure something, right? Just because you've sold the physical object doesn't necessarily mean that the new owner can reproduce that. Um, anyway, but that's the whole copyright law sort of stuff, which I'm not going to get into. And I'm not a lawyer, and I don't think I'd want to be one. Private investigator, maybe. Lawyer, absolutely not. Um, so yeah, this is a beautiful painting that I would love. I would love to reanimate someday. I would love take the scan, and have it printed off via dye sublimation and via heat press, have it applied to uh, aluminum substrate, aluminum panel, canvas, paper, wood panel, something like that. It can be done on all of them. It probably look best on aluminum, and with the heat press, and not as 6 by 12 either, but something proportionally larger. 24 by 48 is a possibility. I don't know how that scales up or whatever, but I mean, wouldn't this look great over a mantle or in a certain part of the house? You've got this wonderful abstract field and sky, and that's what I do. That's what I do. So yeah, I would love to be able to take this image and at least offer it, and then maybe make a new version of it, right? I really like the idea of the technology behind printing today, and I'm not gonna get hung up on shiny back here. It's an original, and it's just like that's fine, but it's okay. It's okay to buy Microsoft 365. It's okay to buy the adapter thingy, right? It's okay to print these things off and adhere them and have a beautiful art object in your house. It doesn't have to be the original thing. I can come over and sign it if you need that, you know, that that you know justification for it or whatever. Yeah, I'll write something specifically on the back or whatever, and I'll provide you with a a sale doc, provenance, and all that sort of stuff. Provenance, right? The historical of the sale. If you want to go that route, that's fine. But I think just the idea of being able to reproduce this sort of stuff, it's like um yeah, yeah. So anyway, I've reached the end here, and I had to restart this so many times because I was getting phone calls and texts, and oh my god, absolutely crazy. A beautiful day. Look at this, sunny day, and we're going to be in the 40s next week. I mean, no snow here for the next week, and we're going to be getting into the 40s. Maybe we're getting out of winter. Certainly getting away from the deep freeze. By the time my birthday arrives, which is March 2nd, typically the deep freeze is over. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't get snowstorms, but that horrible, horrible -11 crap Fahrenheit is typically over. You hope, anyway. So I'm rambling. No one's watching this. Doesn't matter. Talk to you. This is a beautiful painting. Beautiful. I do great work. Yeah, this will be available someday. Don't worry. I guarantee it.